All right, welcome to Chalk Talk. We're just going to call it Chalk Talk 2B. It's really a skill that's been taught since the beginning of this course that I teach, Mr. Small, that is. What we're going to do is we're going to manipulate and or rearrange a type of literal equation. Okay, specifically, however, what we're talking about is rearranging or turning equations in standard form. Hopefully this is jogging your brain as I write standard form, which looks like this: a coefficient with x plus or minus a coefficient b with y equaling c. Okay, A and B are non-zero numbers. So you've got this equation like this in standard form. We want to rewrite it into slope-intercept form. Okay, now that also should be something jogging your brain. Slope-intercept form, I remember that. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we can actually change one from standard into slope-intercept form. Okay, at this point, what I want you to think about is you really, this is simple. It's so simple. I use the word simple a lot to describe things to my students, not meaning it's easy, but it is pretty simple. So I'm going to give kind of a complex problem, though. Okay. What form is that in? Well, Mr. Small, that's in standard form. I know that because it's not in slope-intercept form. That's one way to think about it. If you know y equals mx plus b, a generic form, that's not it. Y is not by itself. Y needs to be by itself in order to be in slope-intercept form, so we're turning it from standard form into slope-intercept form. Okay, I think I have, so to speak, beaten that dead horse, but students struggle with this a lot, thus the video. So what we're doing is we're getting this y by itself, which really just means that its coefficient needs to be a positive 1. It needs to be a positive 1. So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, this is literally steps to this. All right, I'm going to first use inverse operations to take the term with the x to the opposite side. Okay, that's it. Use inverse operations to take the term with the x to the opposite side. So here's the term with the x. I am going to use inverse operations, meaning I call it making zero, meaning now if I take away 1/2 x over here, there's nothing left. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over here. Now what that means is I am not going to subtract it from 18 because that would be combining unlike terms. So we're not doing this. No, no, no. What we can kind of think about is the fact that there, let's just do this and we say there are 0 x's over there, which is true. That helps students sometimes visually realize, okay, I can do this. This is okay to do, and I can take away 1/2 x from 0 x's. And then the math naturally then ends up being 3y equals 18 minus 1/2 x. That is step 1. Okay, now I'm going to erase and then rewrite what we've got now. Okay, we are not done. Though y, you might say, some students will say, well, y is by itself. It doesn't have any other numbers, with it. But I say to you, no, again, this coefficient has to be positive 1. So if it was negative y, you'd actually divide by a negative 1. So if you have negative y equals whatever, you need to divide by a negative 1 to get that, make it positive. In this case, the coefficient is 3, and what I do is I am going to identify the coefficient for the term with y and divide every term by it. Okay, so the term with y, I identify its coefficient, divide every term by it. Well, the term with y is 3y, the coefficient is 3, so I'm going to divide everything by 3. Yes, you can do this, people. Okay, don't get scared with the fractions. My goodness, it happens too often. Students get scared of fractions. Now that is why I've made 1 is what I call this. 3 divided by any number divided by itself is 1. Y equals 6 minus, 1/2 divided, negative 1/2 divided by 3 gives me 1/6. Now look, see what I did here? I brought down that negative. That negative belongs with that 1/2. So it's negative 1/2. Now it's negative 1/6 x. You should be thinking, wait, that looks kind of like slope-intercept form, sure. And I can just, if I'd like, I can rearrange it to be an exact replica. Notice I keep the sign where it was. This doesn't have a sign in front of it, which means it's got to be positive, and I have rewritten the equation into slope-intercept form. Okay? Simple, 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 yet we struggle some. Good luck.